What's up, booktube? Welcome back. My name is Laura if you're new here, and today we're talking about some new book releases for the month of June. Apparently a lot of stuff happening in June. A lot of book releases. They all sound amazing. We've got some stunning covers. Like, it's just overall a very good month for books, so I'm just gonna not ramble at all and just get right into it, starting with one that I'm sure we're all very excited for, which is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I am like the luckiest person on the planet Earth because I just made a NetGalley account like literally a couple days ago, and I put in a request for this book and I actually got it. I just finished it like half an hour ago and it was fucking incredible. Like, this book was amazing. So I will be doing a full review for it. I'm not sure if it's going up before this video or after it, but if it's already up then I will link it down below for you guys to go check it out. But this book is coming out on June 1st. This one follows a woman named August who is in her mid-20s and has just moved to New York City by herself. She knows nobody. She's just spent her entire life running and never wanting to commit and just being afraid of what'll happen when she puts down roots somewhere. But she moves in with these people who are weird as hell and she doesn't think that she'll like them, but they end up becoming this beautiful family. They're weird and quirky and just everything that she needed. And one day while August is on the subway, she meets a woman named Jane, who is this like punk rock short-haired lesbian who looks like she is straight out of the 70s, and it turns out she is. She somehow got stuck in a blip in time and she spent the last 45 years on the subway train unable to get off. She has no memory of who she is, where she came from, why she was there, or what happened to her. But as August and Jane starts to talk more, her memories slowly piece together and the two get to know each other and fall in love while also trying to figure out the mystery of how Jane could possibly be there. And the whole while there's just this backdrop of a beautifully diverse cast of characters. This is easily one of the gayest books that I've ever read in my life and it was amazing. I loved every second of it, every page. It was beautiful. But I will save all that for the review. But just know that this book is incredible, and if you are queer, you need to read it. Next up, also on June 1st, is For the Wolf by Hana F. Whitten. So in this world, the gods have become monsters and they live in the wilder wood. And anytime there is a second daughter born, she has to be sacrificed to the Wolf of the Wood. Our main character's name is Red, and she is the first second daughter born in centuries, so she is sacrificed to the wood, which she's honestly not mad about because she has some kind of cursed magic that has caused her to hurt people in her life, so she is more than happy to go and sacrifice herself for the good of the people. And then she learns that the wolf is not actually a wolf, he is a man. So I'm kind of hoping this will be some kind of like villain romance, which I would be so here for. If you know me at all, you know that I fucking love villains. And it's a really interesting take on a Little Red Riding Hood retelling, and says that it's for fans of Uprooted and The Bear and the Nightingale. So I think it'll be a really beautifully written kind of like lush fairy tale prose. It sounds amazing and I can't wait for it. And the last of our June 1st releases is The Witch King by H.E. Edgmon. This one, oh, I'm excited. I am so excited. This one is about a transgender witch named Wyatt who broke off his engagement to the royal fairy prince and fled to the human world after he lost control of his magic one night. But the fairy prince has tracked him down and is saying that they still have to get married, otherwise he will risk losing the throne. So he basically has no choice in the matter. He has to marry the prince, but as they get to know each other again, they start to fall back in love. From what I can tell from the synopsis, there's a whole lot more going on here, but that's kind of the gist of it. I've been seeing this book everywhere, like literally everywhere. People are hyped for it. I'm hyped for it. I cannot wait to get my hands on this book. It sounds absolutely incredible, and like the cover is gorgeous. Coming out on June 8th is Girls at the End of the World by Brooke Robson. This is a queer end of the world romantic fantasy, which already just sounds incredible. This one is set in a world where there's about to be a horrible flood that's going to basically end the world and most people will not survive. Our main character is an aerial silk performer for the royal court, which is a really interesting concept. And of course all the royals are going to be saved from the flood, but the silk dancers will not be, but they're the only family that she's ever known, and so she is desperate to save them. So she starts trying to be courted by the prince so that she can hopefully sway the decision and have them be saved as well. But the newest recruit to the silk dancing squad people, whatever they're called, is also trying to get close to the prince. Not for the same reasons though, she wants revenge. And I believe the two of them fall in love. This is a sapphic romance. I'm excited. This is a really, really cool concept. I've never heard of anything like even kind of like this before. This sounds so unique and inventive, and also like the cover though. Wow. That is a beautiful cover. On June 10th, we've got the Jasmine Thrown by Tasha Suri. This has like several tropes that I am really interested in. It has unlikely allies, forbidden magic, there's royalty involved, there's a traitor in the royal family. Like, I love all of these elements, and it's also a sapphic romance as well, so like even better. But in this one, the main character is a princess who's being held captive by her brother, I believe because of her forbidden magic, and she joins forces with her maidservant who comes to her chambers every night, and the two of them set off to try and take down her brother together. This one also sounds really cool, and I've been seeing a few people talking about it recently, and it also says that it's inspired by the history and epics of India, which I don't think I've read any fantasy that's like inspired by it by Indian culture, so that'll be really cool too. Also on June 8th is Fire with Fire by Destiny Soria. Dragon book! Dragon book! I love dragons! So in this one, it follows two sisters who are both dragon slayers until the one ends up meeting a dragon. I guess they can talk in this world, which I am so fucking here for. But she realizes that everything that they knew about dragons was totally wrong, and so she joins the side of the dragons and is trying to like recruit her sister over to it. Meanwhile, her sister goes to the sorcerers to try and save her sister from the dragons. So it's the two of them on opposite sides trying to save each other, which sounds like it could end up being really heartbreaking, which I love. I love sibling relationships in books, and like there's dragons involved, so obviously I'm going to love this one. On June 15th, Sisters of the Snake by Sasha and Sarena Nanua is coming out. We've got another A, beautiful cover, and B, sibling fantasy, which I'm so excited for. This one follows two main characters. One is a royal and the other is an orphan who's been living on the streets for her whole life. The royal character wants freedom and the orphan character just wants to live a comfortable, happy life. The two end up meeting on the street and realize that they are identical. So they decide to swap places and see what happens from there. I'm not too sure where the plot goes from there, but even just the premise alone sounds amazing, and I can't wait to get to this one. Darling by Ancrum is coming out on June 22nd. This is the author of The Wicker King, which I read a couple years ago and really enjoyed. Except this one is a dark, twisted Peter Pan retelling. It follows Wendy as the main character who I believe she's like just moved to Chicago where she meets Peter, and they go out for what she assumes is a night of drinks and partying on the town, but soon ends up in the underground of Chicago. We've got a punk rock Tinkerbell and a really sinister Peter Pan. Captain Hook is a detective and Wendy is kind of on the run from something, and Wendy has to figure out how to survive the night with Peter, basically. I've never read or seen any adaptation of Peter Pan before, so I really don't know the story that well. I know like the bare bones basics of it, but not really like details. So I feel like maybe I should kind of have some context of Peter Pan before I read this one. But either way, sounds really interesting, super cool concept, and I'm honestly just really here for punk rock Tinkerbell, not gonna lie. And the last book for today is coming out on June 29th, and that one is Gearbreakers by Zoe Hana Mikuta. I'm like beyond hyped for this book. I don't really know how to describe it that well. The plot is a little confusing to me, but like not in a bad way. This is a sci-fi in which the world has like stopped praying to deities and has instead built them into these like giant mecha robots that people can pilot, something like that. But our main character is a rebel who is trying to take them down, but she gets caught and thrown into one of the prisons where she meets one of the pilots and assumes that she's obviously going to be her enemy, but turns out that she's actually a like double agent kind of thing who has been trying to take down the system from the inside this whole time. And the two end up working together and fall in love and things go from there. So this one sounds fucking amazing. Give me queer sci-fi. I love it. Also the cover, I'm obsessed. Like just everything to do with this, I am just completely and utterly obsessed with it. And that's it. Those are all the books that I'm looking forward to for the month of June. Also, sorry if the lighting has just been gradually getting darker. My one light has been like slowly dying this entire time. Of course, because what else is new for me, right? But anyways, let me know if you've heard of any of these books, if you plan to read any, or also if you have any other books coming out in June that you think I would enjoy. Please let me know down in the comments. But in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye!